Hey, I'm New York Times bestselling author Jonathan Bailor, and I have a quick question for you today. When you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror, what does that little voice in your head say to you? And when you think about that, I want you to ask yourself another question. Have you ever stepped back and asked yourself why it's like you know what you need to do to lose weight and be healthy, but it just seems so hard to actually do it and to do it consistently over time? Well, the truth is, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. Changing the habits that lead to better health can be very hard, especially when it comes to losing weight. But in about 7 minutes and let's say 32 seconds, you're going to learn about a secret quirk in the human mind that makes sticking with your best laid plans almost impossible. But I'm also going to prove that it doesn't have to be impossible or even hard for you. In fact, it can be easy and even enjoyable. I'll give you a hint about how this works. It's all about the story that you tell yourself each and every day, the words that you're using to talk to yourself. So as you watch this video, please keep the following question in mind. In fact, you might want to write it down because you're going to use it later. What story am I telling myself about my weight and about my body? See, maybe like most of our most successful clients, it's not the what to eat part that you've struggled with most in the past that's really kept you from your goals. Deep down, you probably know what you should and shouldn't be eating, but maybe you struggle with sticking with the plan or keeping it up consistently over time, or just enjoying your life every day when you're trying to follow any of these plans, or breaking old habits that derail your progress, or dealing with cravings and emotional eating and self-sabotaging behaviors or actions that you know you need to leave behind, but just can't seem to. Really think about this for a moment. Do you have bad habits that you just can't break, that you know lead to carrying around more weight than you want? Does it feel like you can stick with a plan for just a few weeks, but eventually it becomes too hard? Do you ever just feel overwhelmed that losing weight might be something that's easy for other people, but hard for you with all the craziness and stress in your life? Well, if you've ever dealt with any of these issues, then what I'm going to reveal in this video could have a dramatic impact on your life and your waistline. And it's a big promise, I know, but in the next few minutes, I'm going to prove it to you. Look, I'm not going to bore you with too many numbers, but the statistics here are really alarming. For example, did you know that there are as many overweight people alive today as there were total people alive 100 years ago? Or that more than 40 million children under 5 are overweight? Or that diet-related diseases have overtaken tobacco as the leading cause of death in the US? Or that obesity is shortening the average lifespan more than accidents, homicides, and suicides combined? Or that about 1 in 3 American kids are overweight or obese? And finally, and really heartbreaking, that thanks to the obesity and diabetes epidemics, for the first time in US history, today's children are expected to die at a younger age than their parents. Now, I don't mean to scare you, but I need to be honest here, and these numbers prove an important point. Even when you know the risks to your health and to your quality of life, what is it about food and eating that makes it so hard for us to create lasting change? The kind of change that will not only improve your well-being and boost your energy, but make you feel great and give you confidence about how you look. Think about it. If you know something is going to shorten your lifespan and rob you of energy, why do you keep doing it? But look, enough is enough. Today is the day that together, you and I put an end to that, because I will show you a few simple tips and tricks that will easily allow you to make the changes you know you need to make to enjoy better energy, vibrant health, and permanent weight loss for the rest of your life. Imagine if instead of struggling with those bad habits, you could flip a little known switch up here in your brain and instantly replace them with positive, health-promoting habits that make weight loss almost automatic without ever having to struggle. Imagine never having to look at that scale again and instead looking in the mirror at a new slim and vibrant you with more than enough energy to do all the things you've always wanted to do. How would that make you feel? Or like, are you confidently currently crossing items off your bucket list, or do you just sometimes feel too run down or embarrassed to leave the house some days? Imagine getting away from that and genuinely loving yourself and erasing years of shame and guilt and never having to feel bad about the choices you make. Imagine knowing that every choice you make is giving you a longer and happier life. Well, to be very clear, the solution is not more eat this, not that, food lists, or yet another meal plan or shiny new quick fix diet that doesn't work in all the messiness of real life. You need a practical, whole new way to think about weight loss and to rewrite the story you're telling yourself about your body and your weight. Let's face it, you and I and everyone else, we're all suffering from information overload, especially when it comes to weight loss and diet information. Having more information is not the solution. In fact, more information like restrictive food lists and impossible meal plans will just leave you overwhelmed, confused, and too tired to make real life-saving changes. Really think about it. As you've gotten more and more eat this, not that information, has your life gotten simpler or more complicated? Has your weight gone up or down? You're not alone. The majority of our most successful clients have tried more than 17 different diets before they finally come to us for help. So trust me, I've heard about every crazy diet in the book, but why do all of these seemingly sexy plans fail over and over and over again? If the weight loss plans you have tried have failed you, then there's a good chance that those plans skipped right over the most essential key to permanent weight loss. Now, I'll explain what that is in a moment, but first, have you ever noticed that 99% of diets and exercise plans rarely ever take your emotions into account? They never talk about the realities and the feelings of shame and guilt, and they never teach you how to love who you are so that you are empowered to create lasting change. Sure, they give you food lists of what you can't eat and maybe some catchy gimmick that sounds great along with some crazy exercises, but they never take the time to treat you like the real and beautifully complex individual who has emotional ups and downs. You and I, we both have bad days, face temptations, and are far less than perfect sometimes, or at least I know I am, and maybe you can relate. So with this in mind, have the diets you've tried, have they focused on believing in yourself and healing shame and using social support to more than triple your results? Have they actually taught you methods proven to change long-standing bad habits, the habits you know you need to change and are likely the real reason you're overweight? Or has it all been about which foods are bad and how you're bad for not trying hard enough and what you aren't allowed to do or eat anymore? It's all about restriction, rules, and starvation. It's so negative and it's just insane. It isn't healthy, supposed to make you feel better, not worse. The fact is that your body is set up to literally force you to gain weight, more weight. This is why we yo-yo. We gain more than we lose every single time you starve yourself. And that's the exact reason more than 19 out of 20 of us who have dieted end up gaining more and more weight each and every time we try. The harder we try, the more food lists and meal plans we're bombarded with, the heavier we get. It's enough to literally make you want to scream. But, all right, I gotta calm down here. You can't be expected to fix a problem if you're not addressing the real problem, right? And it's not your fault, you've been given bad information, but there's a good chance that even though those diets all have different names and may seem different on the outside, they're all the exact same underneath. And I know that may sound strange, but I'm going to explain. See, because today, right now, I want to show you truly an entirely new way to think about weight loss, and a way of thinking that is simple, effective, and guaranteed to give you results that last. It's a way of thinking that finally gives you freedom from the scale. I'm not actually standing on a scale, but it gives you freedom from the scale and allows you to instead feel joy and let go of shame. But in order to take advantage of this new way of thinking, you need to understand that psychological quirk that I mentioned earlier, because it's the real reason that diets always fail you. Please really listen here. You can't lose weight, you can't change bad habits, and you can't make better choices if you're telling yourself the wrong story about yourself. I promise that you don't need one more meal plan or food list. What you really need is a way to upgrade and improve the story you tell yourself. The story about your body, your weight, and your health. The story of how you love, or in many cases, don't love yourself. So back to that very first question I asked you when the video started. When you look in the mirror, what does the voice in your head say to you? Is it positive and filled with hope about your body and your health, filled with optimism and energy about what the future holds for you? Or do you talk down to yourself and use words like ugly or embarrassed or fat or to this and to that? Or maybe the words you use in the story you tell yourself is even worse. But what if you could create a turning point in your life right now that would dramatically change that story? Changing it into a story that will not only let you eat until you're completely satisfied, but also begin to love yourself and your body. A brand new story that finally supports your weight loss goals and puts a smile on your face at the same time. I guarantee that if you reshape the story that you tell yourself, you will reshape your body at the same time. Because look, it is finally time for you to be the hero in your own story, to have full confidence in yourself and your ability to change. Because the real path to permanent weight loss requires you to believe in yourself and that you love yourself. And today, I want to give you clinically proven tools to do just that. Imagine never having to starve yourself. And imagine looking in the mirror and finally loving what you see. And imagine talking to yourself with love, kindness, and excitement. Imagine if that little voice in your head was constantly uplifting, inspiring, and motivating you each and every day. Look, if information overload sounds familiar, and if negative self-talk and a negative story sounds familiar, if knowing what to do but not being able to stick with any diet for more than a few months sounds familiar, if trying plan after plan but always gaining back the weight sounds familiar, then it is time to try something radically different. If you're ready to love your body again, if you're ready to wake up with as much energy as you had in your 20s, then it is time to create your own personal turning point. It's time to create that empowering story, and together that is exactly what you and I will do in our brand new mind and body transformation program, Love Yourself Slim. Because information is only half of the equation. The other half is action. And in this scientifically backed program, you and I will dig deep into creating rock solid motivation and giving you powerful tools that make making those right choices and taking those actions you need to simple. It may sound too good to be true, but trust me, keep watching and you're going to discover the truth that almost no one else talks about when it comes to weight loss. The psychology of actually sticking with a plan. That's the bottom line, and how to make better choices effortlessly. No one talks about that. No one talks about the psychology of sticking with a plan, and no one's talking about how to make better choices simply, or how to erase bad habits and create loving habits that make reaching your goals feel like a refreshing walk in the park instead of a panicked sprint through a minefield. But in the Love Yourself Slim program, you and I are going to help write a new, sane story about your weight and your health based on love and caring and a long-term promise to gradually progress to the best you possible. Because no matter what that voice in your head may say to you, you absolutely do deserve to look and feel your best. You do deserve better. And together, you and I will get you there. Because your new sane story, it's gonna be like your guardian angel for lasting weight loss, because when that voice in your head is telling you the right story filled with truth and appreciation and confidence, you will find that making the right choices day after day and losing weight becomes almost effortless. So if you're ready for that turning point in your life, and the one that leads to permanent and lasting weight loss, then please join me today and you will discover all of this in our brand new, I love this, Love Yourself Slim program. It's one of my favorites because in section 1, you and I are going to cover how to love yourself a little bit more each and every day, always making progress with our sane progress versus perfection principle. Also, I'm going to give you the one thing that guarantees you reach your goal weight without ever actually thinking about your goal weight. You are so much more than the number on the scale. And together you and I will uncover that best version of you. Now, section 2 is all about the radically empowering strategy of focusing 100% of your attention and energy on the next small action that needs to be taken. And only the next small action that needs to be taken. Because with this simple shift, it's impossible not to reach your long-term weight loss goal. And this simple trick, it can reduce your stress and anxiety as well. Plus, it has the added benefit of bringing more joy and happiness into your life almost instantly. It's the best way I know to really lift the weight of the world off your shoulders while shedding excess weight off your body. And it's something that will help you feel better about yourself every single day immediately. And then section 3, it's going to show you the freedom, joy, and confidence that you can experience by identifying and freeing yourself from the foods that you may have become addicted to. And I know addiction is a strong word, but certain foods such as sugar, bread, and especially processed carbs are engineered by corporations to create a serious chemical dependency in your brain. This means that if you've ever found yourself compelled to overeat even when you know you don't want to and feel horrible afterwards, then you may have fallen victim to food addiction. And these addictions are often the reason for self-sabotage and overeating and even cravings. The good news is that when you recognize and break free from these food addictions, you will be able to finally eat until you are 100% full with no shame and no guilt. Because instead, you're going to know that you're loving and caring for your body with every delicious bite you take. And then in section 4, we're going to take an in-depth look at some of the habits that drive your life. And you're going to discover a powerful tool to easily change negative habits into habits that create confidence and freedom. And this is critical because habits control 90% of what you do each and every day, and you're often not aware of it. So those habits can lead to mindless eating and falling back into destructive patterns even when you have the best of intentions. However, when you see the exact 3-step process to create positive habits, you can create these positive changes almost automatically. Even better, you and I are going to cover how loving yourself slim is never about deprivation. It's about enjoying so much good food that you are too full for the sickening and fattening stuff. And I will in fact show you how you can cook and eat almost anything with no point and no calorie counting needed just by making some simple, sane swaps. And the swaps, they're going to taste slightly different, but they will also make you look and feel completely different, a trade-off that I know you will enjoy. And then in section 5, I will give you the tools to overcome shame and to learn to take care of yourself every single day, even if it feels like ages since you've really taken time to give yourself what you need to be happy. See, shame is the root cause of so many of the struggles in your life, especially struggles with weight and body image. Shame can fill you with intense feelings of fear and blame and guilt and make real progress toward your goals almost impossible. But in this section, you're going to discover how empowered you will become when you develop what's known as shame resilience. Because overcoming shame, that allows you to be so much better equipped emotionally and physically to reach your goals, because you will learn how to deal with things like emotional eating and cravings in a slimming way. And this knowledge allows you to feel joy and happiness you may never have felt until today. And I'm also going to give you some specific tools and exercises you can use right away to overcome any shame you may be feeling right now around food, your weight, or your body. Now, in section 6, you're gonna take an honest look at all the ways you have tried to lose weight in the past. Why? Why dredge up the past? Because you're going to find out why your previous attempts to lose weight, why they didn't work, and what they had in common. And once you're honest about these starvation-based diets and gimmicks that have failed you in the past, you will start to see a pattern emerge. And once you see this pattern, you will know exactly what you need to do next to create a beautifully empowered you. For example, you may feel like you've tried dozens of different ways to lose weight, but the surprising reality you will learn is that you may have only tried the same strategy, but with a different name time after time. I know that sounds strange, but don't worry, you're gonna see exactly what I mean shortly, and it will set you free from yo-yo dieting forever. And then finally, in section 7, you and I are gonna cover the 2 most powerful keys to change your story and enjoy permanent weight loss. You're going to learn how to harness the one thing that study after study shows will not only improve your odds of losing weight, but will also dramatically improve the odds of keeping it off for good. You're gonna discover, in addition, a simple 3-minute habit that helps you love yourself more, which turns out to be the surprising master key to easily making better choices for your health. And the best part is that neither one of these almost miraculous weight loss methods involve cutting anything out of your diet, and they definitely don't involve pills, potions, or wild exercise programs. Instead, both of these tools, they work so well because they're based on proven science and the power of compassion and the simple but potent act of loving who you are. They work together almost magically to reshape your mindset while reshaping your body. And please remember, each one of these sections, right? This is all about action. Each one of these sections includes our proprietary real results exercises, worksheets, guides, tools, and hidden keys cheat sheets to make sure you can put all of this into action easily and see lasting results quickly. Also, and this is really exciting because of how much faster it can help you see and feel results. For a limited time, you're going to get a very special bonus when you order on this particular page today. You're going to get the never before seen 7 hidden keys behind the scenes sessions that multiply the results you'll get from each part of the program we just discussed. Each one of these powerful videos, exercises, tools, and blueprints includes the insights and actions that build off those love yourself slim strategies and radically increase how quickly you can transform both your mind and your body. Look, let's get really real here for a moment. The truth about the weight loss industry, that multi-billion-dollar beast that they just never told you, is that diet information, what to eat, is not enough to lose weight. Books and lists are not enough. You need to change your personal story around food and weight on the inside. You gotta change that story you're telling yourself, the way you talk to yourself on the inside, or nothing will ever change on the outside. Simple as that. And if you finally want to lose the fat, you've got to create a turning point in your personal story right now. Otherwise, you're going to continue to struggle and continue to feel shame and guilt and regret. So if you're tired of those feelings, let's end the struggle and create a powerful turning point for you right here today when you join me to Love Yourself Slim. I love this, Love Yourself Slim. This mind-body transformation program is amazing, and together you and I are going to write that new story for you and for your body. So if you're tired of all the diets that have failed you and are looking for a real solution, one that's gonna give you those emotional tools to change your story, change your habits, and finally love how you feel and love what you see every day in the mirror, then I want you to be a part of this life-changing journey. Just click the button below, fill out your information, and you're gonna get instant lifetime access to the entire deluxe Love Yourself Slim program. And again, to recap, you get access to the 7 how-to videos that delve deep into the most effective tools, strategies, and methods to establish permanent change. Each of those videos includes our real results worksheets, so it's not just more information, it's real exercises and actions to help you change your story and, more importantly, your life. You're also going to get transcripts so you can read along and really internalize everything that you're going to learn. Each of these sections is available to you everywhere, so that in addition to just reading them and watching them, you can even listen to them in your car or even while you clean your house. And I love this because it's a proven way to program your subconscious to help stimulate effortless weight loss. And remember, for each of those videos, you're gonna get the Hidden Keys cheat sheet that gives you exactly what you need to put those tools into action, into your life immediately. So you never have to feel overwhelmed, and you always have these life-changing tools right there beside you. And of course, I wanna make sure that changing your story today, that turning point, let's make it a no-brainer. So let's eliminate any and all risk and really prove to you that this program is unlike anything else you've seen before. Today, just say maybe to the program. Try it for 60 days, and if you don't love it, if you don't like your new story, and you don't feel like that turning point is gonna help you achieve the body of your dreams, simply send us an email, and we'll give you a quick, courteous, and no questions asked full refund. Is that reasonable? It's zero risk because you're always covered by a complete 100% money back guarantee, because we always put our sane family first. I'd like to invite you into that family so you can be sure that we not only create the highest, most proven products available, but more importantly, we stand behind them and the results you will see. Look, right now you are standing at a fork in the road and you have two choices. You can continue to do what you've always done, struggling with restrictive food lists and starvation diets that don't address the real reasons you're overweight. You can continue to live in shame and guilt and regret, and you can continue to tell yourself a crippling story about food and your weight that will hold you back from living the life you've dreamed of, dragging you down to be more and more miserable like a heavy ball and chain. Or you can finally try something that has been proven to work, that you know will work. You can finally change the story that you're telling yourself about food and about your body. You can begin to love yourself and gently make lasting changes that lead to permanent weight loss. You can leave behind the frustration of quick fixes and the embarrassment of broken promises of all those nonsense diets that have failed you in the past. Isn't it time that you invested in yourself, invested in your long-term health, your energy and well-being, invested in loving yourself again? Look, you can really live better, I promise. And this is your chance, and I don't want you to miss out on this golden opportunity to generally and deeply love yourself again and care for yourself again and finally see the change you deserve in your life for the rest of your life. So please go ahead and click the button below to try loving yourself slim so that you and I can get started today and create a beautiful turning point in the beautiful story of you.